These are the 11 by 17 pieces of grid that you will line up at home and bring to class to work on in the second session. You will line up at least two 11 by 17 inch grids for your number 2 Mitchell nib. This is an entire sheet of 11 by 17 grid. Let's zoom in a little closer and see what we need to do. This is the upper left-hand corner of the grid, a close-up of it, before we've done anything whatsoever on it. I'm using a red ballpoint pen to do everything on this video. You yourself will be using a pencil. The red ballpoint pen I'm using just shows up better for the camera. I want us to begin by extending where the dark blue lines of the grid would extend out to the edge of the paper. Let's look at the first inch at the top of the grid. We're going to draw a little arrow that will designate where the halfway point, the midway point of that inch will be. That will be 4 little squares down from the top dark line, or 4 little squares up from the bottom dark line. We're then going to skip the second inch. On the third inch, we'll do the same thing as we did on the first inch. Then we'll skip the fourth inch. So for the first inch, the third inch, the fifth inch, the seventh inch, and the ninth inch, we'll do exactly the same thing. Next, wherever we've made one of those little arrows, we'll take our ruler and our pencil, and we'll extend that all the way across the 17-inch width of the grid on the first, third, fifth, seventh, and 9th. Now, when we back away and see the entire 11 by 17 inch grid, we can see how the guidelines we've made should look. We will never have made any pencil lines atop the dark blue lines. You will have lined up at least two 11 by 17 inch grids for the number 3 Mitchell nib. Once again, we begin with the entire sheet of 11 by 17 inch grid. Now we'll zoom in closer and see what we need to do. We're looking at a close-up once again of the upper left-hand corner of the grid. Now let's see what we have to do. I'll be using a red ballpoint pen again to extend where the dark blue lines begin at the grid and extend them out towards the end of the paper. You yourself will be using a pencil. I'm simply using the red ballpoint pen because it shows up better for the camera on the video. Let's look at the top dark blue line. We'll count down 5 little blue squares from there and make a mark. 3 little squares down below that will be the next dark blue line. From there, we'll count another 5 little blue squares and make a mark. 3 little squares down from that will be the next dark blue line. From there, we'll count 5 little blue squares and make a mark. And we'll keep repeating that till we reach the bottom of the line, the page. Now, we're going to take our pencil and ruler, and wherever we've made those marks, we're going to extend those marks across the entire width of the 17-inch width blue grid. As we back away and see the entire page 11 by 17 inch grid, this is the way it should look. It's now completely lined up. We will have never made any pencil lines atop the dark blue lines.